Hi, I'm Laura, and I'm about to play the Daring Mermaid Expedition. I'm a huge fan of Choice of Games, so now that a new one's come out, I've decided instead of just doing it on my own, I'd make a playthrough of it. So I have no idea what's going to happen, I just know it has something to do with mermaids, and it's going to involve a lot of me reading things out loud. So I hope you appreciate my beautiful voice. Alright, let's go. The Grand Royal Scholar gazes at you coldly from beneath her bushy eyebrows. That's impossible, she says, and any scholar who would make such assertions with nothing to back them up doesn't deserve a position in the Royal German Marianological Society. A murmur arises from the assembly. A collection of the most luminous luminaries, noble nobility, the absolute most schooled scholars the world has ever known, and they're all here to watch you, to see if this moment signals your rise to the top or your shameful disgrace. "Ha ha, I've got you now," you cry. You brandish your journal on high like a mighty sword. You see, my notes prove conclusively that... You pause for dramatic effect. A few lesser scholars cower at your feet, waiting for you to inflict the final blow. This is your moment of truth, the crucible that will make or break your career. You unleash your final argument. My careful and methodic investigation has given me the answer. My charm and quick thinking have unraveled the truth. My persistence and passion have revealed everything to me. Or, thanks to my dogged determination, for once they'll have to believe me. Now, I'm not really a fan of the whole using your charm thing in these games. It kind of seems like a cop-out. I usually tend to go the intellect route. So I'm going to go with my careful and methodic investigation has given me the answer. The professor has perpetrated a hoax upon you all. There was never such thing as a speckled antelope fish. Okay. As a gasp arises from the assembly, not unlike the sound that Professor Birenhoffel had claimed the speckled antelope fish was known to make, the distinguished scholar is ejected from the crowd, her spectacles askew. "Lies," Birenhoffel pleads. "Surely you can't believe this upstart against the weight of my accomplishments." The Grand Royal Scholar is not persuaded. She turns her attention back to you. "And you have proof of this?" You tossed your journal onto her podium. "It's all right, your dispassionance." There are so many words in this that are going to be really annoying. It's going to be so embarrassing. "I double-checked every so-called fact on the fish she's ever published, and none of it adds up. The fish is nothing but a figment of her imagination." The Grand Royal Scholar reviews your notes, her mood visibly darkening with every page she turns. At last, "Begone with you, Birenhoffel, you traitor to knowledge," she thunders, "and never let one of your monographs darken my postbox ever again." "Well, well," the Grand Royal Scholar turns to you. "And now we must discuss your role in this matter. You've proven to be terribly perceptive, and we all owe you a debt. If you can forgive me, however, the Royal German Marianological Society requires your assistance in another matter, a matter of utmost importance. Are you ready to fulfill your duty?" You nod soberly. Giving your all to the society is, after all, your very highest calling in life. There is no mission the Grand Scholar could bestow upon you that you would refuse. Such is your dedication to the society. She clears her throat to speak. The assembled delegates hold their breath, waiting to hear what the grave matter might be. And then, I'm gonna throw this out there, I'm guessing this was a dream sequence. Knowing what I know about Choice of Games, I am betting my, 100 air, that this is a dream sequence. "Hey, I was reading that, give that back," says your Uncle Banjo. He rips the astonishing life and times of a Royal German Marianological Scholar from your hands. And just at the exciting part, right before you could learn what the Grand Royal Scholar's mission was. Okay, so it wasn't a dream, it was a fantasy reading sequence, so I was close. Banjo retreats back to his hammock on deck and begins to read the book himself. This leaves you with nothing to do except stare into the waves and wish you were anywhere but the middle of the ocean. Same. Your mind turns back to Talatoargum. What a great book. Why, you could easily picture the life of a scholar for yourself, performing great exploits in exploration, awing the world with the shine of your academic prowess, unraveling the great mysteries of the universe, or at least the ocean. Who wouldn't want to be part of the society? Nobody, that's who. Nobody at all. You are not such a scholar, and absolutely no glory, adventure, knowledge, or reputation belongs to you whatsoever. Right now, you're just a bored kid on a boat. same. But maybe one day you too can join the Royal German Marinological Society and make a name for yourself. Stranger things have happened. But let's talk about you for a bit. What's your name anyway, you promising young scholar, you? Your first name, that is. I think they've seen what happens when it's not specified whether it's the first or last name. You know who you are. I don't like any of these names, so I'm gonna go with my default name for everything, Aurora. I don't know why, it's just one of my favorite names, and it sounds like my name, but not quite, so that's usually what I go with. And my last name is, I don't like any of these either, so I'm gonna go with my default last name, Winslow. Now let's establish your relationship with the truth. Are you a credible sort, or are you something of a fibber? The truth is so boring most of the time. Who wants to be boring? When I say something, people have been known to double check behind my back. That's rough. I've been caught in a few white lies, but nothing unusual. Nothing but the sterling truth has ever passed my lips. I think I'm gonna go second to most truthful. I think it's never good to have it on the extremes for this sort of thing, but I think mostly truthful. Who hasn't? You're only human after all. Tell me, Aurora, how do you arrive at the truth of the matter? This is like some serious scientific stuff, which is awesome because I love science so much. Okay. Ruthless observation of even the most minor detail. I'm a stickler for academic rigor, but only when it counts. I leap to conclusion, but there's always some basis in fact, or my intuition has never steered me wrong. Okay, I think what I said about extremes, I'm gonna dodge that because ruthless observation is my favorite thing, and I'm not really one to go with instinct, so I'm just gonna play this honest as what I would really be doing. Ah, a born scientist, are you? You know it. Just the sort the society looks for. This is the last question. How dedicated are you to a course once you've set it? Nothing can sway me once I've made a decision. I'm persistent, but sometimes deviation from plan is necessary. I'll make a plan if I have to, but I prefer to keep things flexible. Or call me Professor Spontan... You know what that word is. I'm not gonna try and pronounce it. I don't have to do this. I like to keep my options wide open. I'm gonna go second to most persistent. No sense being obstinate when it's clear you've taken a losing tactic. Solid. Oh my god, so much reading. Okay. You'd always thought a long sea voyage was supposed to be exciting. The sails snapping in the wind, the bustle of shipboard life, the free and open ocean spreading before you as far as the eye can see. You had expected adventure, maybe sea serpents or pirates or mermaids. At least that's what Talatoar had strongly implied. The parts you got to read, anyway. But now that you're on a long sea voyage of your own, it turns out to be super boring. The crew don't care much for kids, like you. How old am I in this? Question mark. So all you can do is try and stay out of their way. Your guardian, Uncle Banjo, has spent most of the trip thus far napping in a hammock on the aft deck, nose hairs blowing gently in the sea air. Now he's reading your book. Well, technically his book. He gave you a toy boat before your trip started, but honestly you feel a little too old for that, and anyway, it's not like you can play with it in the ocean. Not more than once, anyhow. Instead, you sit alone with your legs hanging off the side of the boat, staring at the endless horizon, wishing for something interesting to happen. Wait, what's that towards the aft of the ship, sparkling down by the waterline? Could it be a mermaid? Or is it just the water splashing? Or is it too soon to tell? I'm gonna go with too soon to tell. You squint at the spot where you thought you'd seen something. Probably nothing. The sparkle comes again, just for a second, and then a flicker of motion. There's definitely something in the water, something dappled green and gold, like sunlight through leaves. It slips out of sight again. Could it really be? What's next? Do I try and get a little closer for a better look? Call my Uncle Banjo over, he'll know what to do, or try and find a spyglass, better to see the situation from a safe distance. I think the spyglass seems like a splendid idea. Luckily, the navigator on board the ship is on the absent-minded side and left a spyglass rattling around on top of a locker. Ah, there it is. Let's get a closer look at this curious creature, shall we? A head and shoulders erupt from beneath the water, green and gold. Yep, that sure is a mermaid right there, no doubt about it. Okay, so in this universe, mermaids just exist. It's not really a mysterious thing. She's only about your size, a child herself, An enormous puff of curls dries rapidly and springs out from her head. She's wearing a loose top of knitted seaweed and a necklace of pink shells of a kind you've never seen before. She watches you, eyes wide with fascination, fear, or fury. I'm gonna go with fascination. Hard to tell. Suddenly, the mermaid smiles. Her teeth are very white and very, very sharp. She dives. Her tail fins vanish with a splash beneath the boat. Do you try and find her on the other side of the boat? Look to see if she comes back up where she was? Start taking notes? Or those teeth better find a weapon? I don't think she's hostile. I'm gonna go and try and find her on the other side of the boat. Yeah. You scramble to the other side of the deck in time to see the mermaid reappear. When she does, she grins at you. Her tail smacks the water hard, spraying you with droplets. She disappears under the boat again. You race her to the other side. When she meets you there, she laughs and leaps in the water with delight. I've made a new friend, and she's a mermaid. You play hide and seek with the mermaid for a while, dashing from one end of the ship to another, giggling madly. She swims under the ship, and you try to guess where she'll emerge. Then you run across the decks and peer out from a new spot, waving when she finds you. It's the most fun you've had since you left Port St. Never? She beckons to you. Looks like she wants you to join her in the open water. How's your swimming, Aurora? I'm practically a fish myself. I dive in head first. I'm okay in the water, but there's no sense being reckless. I'll climb down to swim. I don't hate the water, but this isn't exactly a rain puddle here. I'll climb down just to splash a little. What, there are currents in the ocean, waves, sharks, and I can't swim. No way am I climbing down. What are you thinking? So, IRL, I'm a horrible swimmer, but given that this is a game that takes place on the ocean, I'm not gonna go with that. That seems like a bad idea. I'm gonna go, I'm okay in the water, but there's no sense being reckless. You're a pretty good swimmer, so you clamber down the anchor chain and into the water to play. Unfortunately, no matter how good a swimmer you might be, there's no way this would have gone well for you. The waves are more enormous than you've guessed. There's nowhere to stand and catch your breath for a second, and worst of all, your ship is starting to pull away. You can't swim fast enough to keep up. Oh dear. Oh god. You flounder in the direction of your ship as best you can, but the ocean sucks all the warmth from your bones. Your muscles tighten, a wave pushes you down, and you no longer have the strength to pull yourself up for one more gasping breath. The water closes over your head, the chill presses into your skin and into your lungs. You find yourself sinking down. It grows darker. Soon you lose your sense of which way is up. You flail in the water but can't seem to make any headway. The air remaining in your lungs grows stale and explosive. You are drowning. I kinda got that. The mermaid slides through the water at your side, squirming with excitement that you've come to play with her. She takes the shell necklace from her neck and presses it into your hands. Your fingers close around it automatically. A last bubble escapes from your mouth, and you breathe in a deep lungful of ocean water. You find yourself unable to struggle. You slowly drift down and down into the sea. The mermaid child pauses, and confusion flits across her face. She circles around you again, trying to work out what your problem is. Why aren't you swimming and playing? Understanding slowly dawns on her. Her strong hands grip you from under your arms and pull you towards the surface. I'm gonna stop there because I have a limit to how much time I can have on YouTube videos because I don't know how accounts work at all. But yeah, that will be our stopping place for now. I am about to get rescued by a mermaid, and that's pretty exciting. So I'm gonna do this again sometime, and I hope you keep watching this series. Hopefully I'm gonna do more of this particular story, maybe other choice of game stories. So yeah, thanks for watching.